Sydney. The very name evokes images of sun-drenched beaches, iconic landmarks, and a vibrant, energetic culture. It appears on the surface to be an Australian dream come true. Yet beneath this idyllic facade lies a relentless truth. Sydney is one of the world's most expensive cities. This isn't just a matter of high prices, it's a systemic challenge. The crippling cost of living here subtly erodes comfort and quality of life. It places relentless pressure on individuals and families. Living here often demands sacrifices that extend beyond mere financial considerations. This is the struggle to exist, and perhaps even thrive, in one of the globe's most desirable yet financially demanding metropolises. Comfort in Sydney has become an undeniable luxury, even for those earning substantial incomes. The fundamental problem underpinning Sydney's exorbitant cost of living is a chronic housing shortage. This isn't merely an inconvenience, it's a systemic imbalance that profoundly impacts every resident. Demand for housing consistently and dramatically outstrips the available supply. This imbalance relentlessly drives real estate prices to astronomical heights. Owning a home or even securing stable rental accommodation is often a distant dream for many. This scarcity is fueled by a complex interplay of economic, geographic, and regulatory factors. Affordability remains a concept frequently discussed but rarely realized for the average person. The market dictates a harsh reality for those seeking a place to call their own. Restrictive zoning laws significantly exacerbate Sydney's housing issue. These regulations, often designed with good intentions, inadvertently limit crucial new housing construction. They dictate not only where new buildings can be erected, but also their height and density. Urban planning often struggles to keep pace with an expanding population. This further constrains the necessary development needed to alleviate pressure. Such limitations on supply relentlessly push property prices and rents ever upwards. The result is a market perpetually undersupplied, where basic shelter becomes a premium commodity. These constraints are not merely bureaucratic hurdles, they are foundational to the city's affordability crisis. Sydney certainly boasts a relatively high average wage compared to many global cities. However, this statistical advantage frequently belies a deeper problem. The relentless cost of living often outpaces any nominal income growth. This creates a persistent and often widening gap between earnings and essential expenses. Many residents find themselves in a constant state of financial strain. Maintaining what would be considered a comfortable standard of living elsewhere becomes a daily battle here. A high salary doesn't always translate into a high disposable income. The sheer volume of outgoing costs can quickly diminish perceived wealth. This disconnect means financial security often feels perpetually out of reach for many. Taxation, levied at various levels, further erodes disposable income in Sydney. Coupled with the already high cost of everyday necessities, this creates a formidable financial burden. Basic items like groceries, fuel, and utilities carry significant price tags. The relentless accumulation of these expenses can feel overwhelming for many households. Every purchase, every bill, contributes to a sensation of being perpetually squeezed. This financial burden is not an occasional worry. It is a constant companion for many Sydneysiders, shaping their daily decisions. It's a stark reminder that even a good income can struggle to keep pace with the sheer expense of existence. Sydney's infrastructure struggles valiantly, but often fails to keep pace with its rapidly growing population. This fundamental mismatch creates significant daily frustrations for residents. Lengthy commuting times are a prevalent and unavoidable aspect of life for many. Overcrowded public transport systems are a common sight during peak hours. These factors create a significant time cost for residents. This impacts not just productivity, but profoundly affects work-life balance and overall well-being. Time that could be spent with family, on hobbies, or simply relaxing is instead lost to transit. This inefficiency is a hidden, yet substantial drain on the quality of life. It contributes to a collective feeling of constant rush and limited personal freedom. Sydney's undeniable allure as a global destination further fuels demand for accommodation. This international appeal inadvertently contributes to the city's cost crisis. It continually inflates property prices, as both investors and expatriates view Sydney real estate as a valuable asset. The influx of tourists and international investors creates an intensely competitive market. This intensifies the pressure on local residents who must compete with global wealth. What makes Sydney attractive to the world makes it more challenging for its own inhabitants. This dynamic illustrates how global desirability can become a local burden.
The harsh reality in Sydney is that even for high-income earners, significant wealth does not always translate directly into comfort. The relentless pressure of living costs can erode even substantial incomes. It diminishes the expected quality of life that might be found with similar earnings elsewhere. Financial security often comes at the expense of personal space and leisure time. Many high earners still find themselves compromising on apartment size or location. They remain subject to the city's inherent pressures and demands. The pursuit of financial stability here frequently necessitates long working hours or extensive commutes. This leaves less time and energy for the very comforts one might aspire to enjoy. It's a paradox where success in the workplace doesn't automatically equate to ease at home. Therefore, the experience of comfort remains surprisingly elusive for a broad spectrum of Sydneysiders. Sydney's story stands as a compelling and perhaps cautionary tale for global cities. Its undeniable beauty and vibrancy conceal a significant underlying tension. The true cost of living extends far beyond mere monetary figures. It encompasses the sacrifices made, the constant pressures endured, and the perpetual struggle for balance. The dream of a comfortable, prosperous life in this iconic city can often feel like an uphill battle. It demands an extraordinary level of resilience from its inhabitants. This struggle highlights a fundamental question for many of the world's most desirable urban centers. At what cost do we pursue the allure of vibrant global hubs? What sacrifices are deemed acceptable in exchange for living amidst such iconic beauty and opportunity? For many in Sydney, the answer to that question is complex, challenging, and profoundly personal. It is a daily negotiation with the city itself.